Alrighty. Welcome back to Kamen Rider Review, episode number 2. Yeah, it's not as exciting as I say Super Sentai Review. Yeah, basically more Kamen Rider stuff. Yep. This was discussing episodes 5 through 9. Yes. Now, this particular block of episodes does have a two-parter. Yep. Has the very first two-parter ever in the entire series. Yes. Well, because they have one of the monsters show up for more than one episode. Yep. Basically, we have Mantis Man. Yeah, basically, it's the main character versus a mantis. Yep. And all deals with earthquakes. Yep. And basically, a friend of his got kidnapped, and basically, he's going to go to rescue her. And, well, she will look like she's pretty much but she'll be free, no problem. And she's like 3 years older than he is. It doesn't really go anywhere if there's any romance between the two of them, but she only appears in one episode, and that's basically it. Yeah, and also basically, I should point out though that every episode has sort of a first 4 episodes have this little sneak preview of the monster of the episode. Starting episode 5, they dropped this, and they basically just had some quick montage of all the monsters battled before. Now, episodes 6 and 7 is unique because it's basically a two-parter. Yes, a two-parter fighting a chameleon. Yep, and this all involves basically getting some this Nazi stuff, like thing starts out basically you have this old man just relaxing in his office. All of a sudden he turns around like, oh crap, there's a swastika painted on his wall. Yeah, it turns out this guy was a Navy boat captain who was in contact with Adolf Hitler. Yep, they explain this in the next episode, episode 7. Yep, so basically there's this secret the Nazis gave him that's worth trillions. And he kept hiding it in this box, which apparently can only open this electronic device. Yes, seriously. And apparently Shocker, the villain organization, has got a German working for them. Yeah, this is clearly a white guy basically popping up in this episode. We have this professor shows up in this episode. Yes, seriously. Yeah, but basically but this is a fun two-parter. I like it. And one thing I do like about these episodes is going sort of this sort of base per se, but not the main base of Shocker. Where the heck it is, it's completely unknown where the heck this base is. It's basically one of their hideouts. Which surprisingly, I got to notice though, they all look exactly the same, except the only difference is there's this door underneath the symbol of Shocker, which is basically has the voice of the Great Leader, which we haven't seen him yet. It's probably episode 34. And basically, wherever the theme monster episode is, that's what's on the door. And these are like double doors that can open sideways, like sliding doors. And it depends upon the monster of the episode. Yep. Really, and the chameleon basically makes sense for a spy plot because it's chameleon, so why not? Really good two-parter. Yep. Eventually, of course, basically destroyed. Now, in the case episode number 8, yeah, faces a bee woman. Bees. My God. And you thinking, Nick, did you just make a reference to Amazon's attack? Yes, I did. Though the episode's called on the Wiki page was Creepy Wasp Woman. Though on the Wikipedia page, they've heard of this episode as Strangeness Bee Woman. Yeah, it's a really weird episode. Yep. Yeah, basically the very first time they fight a female monster, which is simply just a woman in makeup. Yep. And does the character come back? Yes, it does. Yep. And, well, this basically all deals with, like, brainwash classes And of course, the comrade basically, well, at first looked like he was about to be converted, but luckily he's saved. Actually, that's in the Coleman one. Yep. Yeah, eventually, of course, this is just a standalone episode. Yeah, eventually, at first, they beats her by, well, ripping off one of her wings and then basically kicking her and basically killing her instantly. Also, we actually see the execution of one of, this is actually the second time in this run, we do see the execution of one of the subordinates being a failure. Yeah, the second time this one. And next episode, they execute somebody else for being useless. And the whole thing with that one is like, oh, we had them, they try to steal some gold because they want to basically give them money to, because things cost money. World domination costs money. And during the theft, Cobra Man, that's the name of the creature, this one, loses fangs. Yes, seriously, loses fangs to a dog who dies for some reason. The episode doesn't explain how dog died. It just randomly dies, and they figure, oh, we're basically trying to figure out what the fangs are, and apparently the fangs were the dog all along. Like, they tortured the old man, the old security guard for this. They basically try to torture the son by basically holding over a acid pit, which basically eats one of his shoes. Yes, seriously. And eventually, the monsters show up at the episode, but he apparently comes back next episode, revived somehow. Yep. And those are your 5 episodes for you. Yep. Really good. Nothing really bad here. It's just that the one thing I got to point out about this series is that the monsters are weird in Kamen Rider. Not terrible, just weird. I love the ones in Super Sentai, but man, the Kamen Rider films are so weird and bizarre. One thing I also forgot to mention in my last video is my exposure to Kamen Rider. My only exposure at first basically was the Masked Rider series. That was the first thing I watched related to Kamen Rider. Though that's based upon RX. I will eventually review that at some point. And also the superhero tension movie. Yes, the very first one. Kamen Rider X Super Sentai Super Tension, which is a great movie. And if you're not familiar with Kamen Rider, it's a great introduction. Now, when I watched the movie, there was only one guy I was familiar with, and that was a general who actually was Count Drago in Masked Rider. He was the only villain I recognized. All the rest I had never seen before. This is the first time seeing any of these villains. And a lot of these villains seem like supporting villains. None of them are main villains. Like in the case of Sentai, where they pretty much revive a bunch of dead main villains. But not the case of Kamen Rider, probably because the main villain is basically a guy who wears dressed like a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Yep. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for Cyclo View. I have one more video I'm going to do for this series. For now, I'm going to take a break. Basically discuss the last 4 episodes I'm going to do. And the reason to take a break, because that's basically how far I want to go for right now. I'll come back to it once I finish all the one anime series I'm going to do, which I'm not going to say which one is here. You'll find out later on. Okay, so that's it for Cyclo View. Next one's going to be 2 straight comic quarters and another Kamen Rider. And then I'll probably cap up tonight with a review for Strategist Hero. Okay, next video. Bye.